Well, I done goofed. So when I'm putting together the script for a video, I'll typically rewatch all the relevant episodes or videos to make sure that I'm not missing anything. As this is a lengthy process and I have a fairly good recollection of Degrassi, I've been trying to cut back on this practice, and this is what happens. In my last video where I discussed what Esme's friends could have done to help her, I stated that Frankie or Zig told Miss Grell about Esme. But in my quick rewatch of that episode, I accidentally skipped the scene where Maya admits to going to Grell. I had forgotten that scene was there, and it makes an argument for being as exhaustive as I've been in the past. But on top of that, it kinda wrecks my assertion that Zig and Frankie did all that they could. I still stand by what I said with Miles, but my thoughts are altered with Frankie and Zig. I think they did the most that they could before the graduation ceremony, as again they weren't aware of how troubled Esme really was, but it's also fair to assert that there was ample proof that she needed real help when she showed up to the school with a motorcycle and hinted at calling in a bomb threat to prevent Zig from going to the prom with Maya. But I can still understand why Frankie and Zig didn't get adults involved still. Unless we have the perspective of Maya, it's easy to think that you can personally deal with almost any issue, that there's no need to pass off the burdens you bear because that's just how things are. And especially in school, you are so disconnected from the adult world that it only seems natural that your world doesn't mix. There's no need to bring adults into the matter because this is a you and your friend's problem. Think back to when Joey from Degrassi Junior High was challenged to a fight by a much bigger guy. It was seen as a problem that he had to face, and going to an adult was never considered. Unless things honestly feel too much to bear, it's only natural to try to resolve your problems yourself without seeking aid. And that could admittedly lead to worse situations like Esme attacking Zig with a bike helmet, or Ellie hurting herself when the stress of dealing with her mom became too much. Even in times where adult intervention would not only be helpful, but vital, it's not even seen as a possibility. But sometimes it can be hard to trust that getting parents or faculty involved will actually make anything better. As I mentioned in my previous video, when my friend's mom found out that they were taking her sleeping pills, her reaction was to punish, not to find out why or seek to understand. And consider when Rick tried to go to Radish about the bullying, or that Miles had to nearly OD to get his mom to understand what his dad being around was doing to him. You don't really need to look far to find stories where measures that are supposed to protect and heal end up harming and dealing more damage than help. I'm not saying that seeking help from an adult is never good, or that it shouldn't be considered, but I'm also not saying that every adult will respond rationally or provide aid. And given that's the world we live in, it's not hard to see why kids or teens try to resolve their problems on their own. It's a level of trying to be independent, and for some seen as necessary because adults in their life haven't proved to be trustworthy. It can be hard to trust an adult in the first place since they're such a separate class. They can have such a different perspective that their first strategy for how to help can feel like a violation of your trust, like telling your parents when you say you have an eating disorder. Again, this isn't an advocation for never going to a parent or authority figure with your troubles you can't face yourself. Depending, it could be the only option you have towards a resolution, like with Maya's and Esme's cases where anything but professional help is insufficient. And sometimes it takes the perspective of a suicide survivor to recognize when the needs of a person goes beyond what her friends and loved ones are equipped to provide. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep up with my work, don't trust YouTube, instead follow this Discord invite link. There you can follow the content stream of videos I'm involved in, and you can also talk to me in my NotAVampyre crypt. Also, if you'd like to, you can find me on Twitter at NotAVampyre. Thank you for consuming this video, and until next time.